The Music of Ponyville by Grass and Clouds 2. Chapter 3 Heartstrings and Heartstrings. Next up, weather! Chirped Paige Turner, reading from her notebook. Pony in charge is a mare named Rainbow Dash. She chuckled. Sure you don't want to try another apple fritter, Octavia? Yes, thank you. Octavia patted her stomach. I am quite full. The apples are very expensive hosts. Applejack had offered to let the Canterlot duo try samples of everything the farm would be serving during the celebration. Octavia had taken light samples of everything, and had verified that it was suitable fare for the occasion. Paige Turner had wolfed down just as much as she could hold. The weather office should be right down Medley, said Paige Turner, pointing just past the music store. Music store? Asked Octavia. Yep. Want to stop on the way? You were saying how you want to pick up a new string for your cello? Octavia paused, torn between wanting to examine a new music vendor and wanting to get on with the logistics tasks he had to complete. Well, she said at last, it wouldn't hurt to see what sort of music this town buys. Besides, we might find a local musician Fluttershy there. That's the spirit. Let's check it out. Octavia's enthusiasm, though, was slightly dampened when she drew closer and took a better look at the store. The two-story building looked a lot more run down than Octavia would have liked. The paint was faded, the flagstones were cracked, and the lawn outside the store was overrun by weeds. The cellist frowned, wondering if even the music vendor at this town was envious about the craft. Come on, said Paige Turner, opening the door and hurrying inside. Octavia entered and stared. The inside of the building looked a little different than the outside. Dust in the corners, paint fading on the old walls, and a few shelves and tables showing signs of hasty repair where some old component had finally given out. There was an air of gloom over the building, but the instruments, the shining flutes and piccolos on display along one wall, the gleaming brass of the tubas, trombones, trumpets along the other, the carefully preserved drum heads on the percussive instruments, were expertly maintained. Most looked like they could be played immediately. Octavia looked around, not seeing a proprietor. She cautiously stepped further into the shop, approaching a large cello leaning against a shelf. Examining it closely, plucking a few strings, she noted that it was in tune of high quality. Wonderful, she said, turning back to Paige Turner. This is a quality instrument. Can I help you? Octavia glanced over the stairs, where a green-coated, green-maned Pegasus was fluttering down to the shop below. Hello, the cellist said. I apologize for intruding. I was monitoring your wares. This is a really cool shop, said Paige Turner. Do you own it? Yeah. Medley's Music Emporium. Medley speaking. The pony flew over to behind the counter. See anything you like? I already own a cello, but I have to admit, this one is very well crafted and maintained, said Octavia, scrutinizing the instrument. Do you do all the maintenance yourself? Yep. Medley nodded. Got the tuning table and everything. Every instrument in the store is playable upon purchase, and that's something you won't find in the Spouty Mounty's big city stores. Impressive, Octavia said. A very laudable business ethic. Do you play any of the instruments yourself? Not exactly, said Medley. Paige Turner tilted her head. What does that mean? With a bright smile, Medley bent down to cover, and then brought two instruments up and laid them down. Octavia recognized them as sets of wind chimes. Those are lovely. Thanks, said Medley. I made them myself. It's quite my hobby. Octavia blinked. Made them? She echoed. The instruments looked far better than she would have expected from a hobbyist. I have a little shop down in the basement. In my spare time, I like to build instruments like this. It's nice to hang them in a corner of the shop and let them play while the customers browse. Medley giggled. I just finished my latest project. Want to see? Certainly. Medley led Paige Turner and Octavia to the back of the shop, where they could see through a window into a little yard. In the center of the yard was a huge harp, half again as tall as a pony, with its frame carved out of stone. Between the frame was a dazzling array of strings. What is that? It's an Aurelian harp, said Octavia quietly. She had seen images of that sort of instruments. albeit only in old textbooks. The strings are too big and too heavy to be plucked by hoof or run by bow, and the harp is too large for ponies to play regardless. The harp can only be played by the wind. She turned to Medley. I have never seen one outside of a museum. This is incredible. Thanks, said Medley. Glad you appreciate it. Octavia smiled. It is a work of art. I am honored to see it. Medley opened the window, just as a few gusts of wind blew through the yard in the heartstrings. The resultant sound was unlike any Octavia had heard before. No onset, not even any attack. The music just seemed to arise out of the instrument as if drawn by magic. The sound was soft, sweet, and ethereal, and as it constantly shifted, altering based on the subtlest variations of the breeze, Octavia found herself entranced. When it was over, all Octavia could say, "Spectacular!" Pacer giggled, though when Octavia turned, she composed herself again. "And where are you from?" Medley trotted back to the counter. "Your accent's, Janae, right?" "Yes." Octavia concealed her surprise that Medley recognized it. "But I have spent the last 2 years at Canterlot. I am—" The door banged open, and a blue-coated, rainbow-maned Pegasus flapped in. "Hey, Medley!" she called out. "Got some good news for you!" Medley smiled. "Right. What's up, Rainbow Dash?" But Octavia thought she heard an undercurrent of frustration in her voice. "You know that big celebration tomorrow? Well, Raindrops and Cloud Kicker just reported in. There's a big storm headed in for the Everfree." Rainbow Dash chuckled. "When it rains, it pours. Anyway, we'll be needing some extra help to make sure it doesn't rain on Princess Cadance. You available?" Medley was silent for a moment before nodding. "Yes, just tell me where and when." "After you close up shop, meet us by Fluttershy's house at the edge of Everfree." Rainbow Dash grinned. "This is gonna be the most amazing party ever! Let's get all the weather taken care of so we can go get some of that sweet Apple Acre cider." "Ha ha!" And with a laugh, she left the shop. Medley watched her go, and Octavia noted that her hosts were digging into the counter slightly. Octavia hesitated before forging ahead. "I apologize for prying, but is there a problem?" "Not really," muttered Medley. Octavia raised an eyebrow. Medley shrugged. "It's just, it used to be. I could get some pretty regular hours helping out the weather patrol part-time. Then this hot stuff from Cloudsdale shows up, fastest pony alive or something, and now she practically does all the weather herself." She gestured vaguely at the door. "And now I'm lucky if they need my help in the middle of a monsoon, and she's so smug about it, brags about setting records and joining the Wonderbolts." She paused. "Never mind, it's not your concern." Octavia looked around again, wondering if the dilapidation of the shop was due to lack of resources instead of a lack of care on the part of the owner. "Please forgive me if this question is too personal, but if that's your situation, how can you keep all these instruments in such exquisite condition?" "I get by," said Medley. "I work hard, I don't need charity, and I fulfill my obligation to my customers. If I offered to sell them something, you could be sure it would be the best instrument this side of Everfree. I find money to get the job done." She paused. "It's just... never mind. Is there something you want to buy?" Octavia paused. "Well, you bought a lot," teased Predator. "You like her." Octavia raised an eyebrow. "I simply asked for the most popular scores. I must learn what this town thinks music." "Or you could have done that there and just asked their names. You probably know all those pieces by heart." Pacer giggled. "You like her." "I respect her," granted Octavia. "As a musician, I can appreciate all the work she must put into maintaining those instruments, despite her evident financial difficulty. And while natural music isn't exactly my style, I can certainly appreciate her craftsmanship." She shrugged. "Besides, the House of Philharmonica has resources. I would be remiss if I did not use those resources to assist others." "Don't try to play it off," urged Pacer. "You did a good thing." She nudged Octavia. "You helped her out. You might even made a friend." Octavia rolled her eyes at Pacer's last comment. "I intended to do a bit more than just purchase some of her wares." Octavia smiled. "Her costs shouldn't be left languishing in a crumbling shop. I will talk with the mayor about putting some of her installation pieces in the Equinox celebration." Pacer paused. Aren't you supposed to be coordinating? I don't think you're supposed to chase." It is my job to make sure the celebration goes off as well as possibly can. If I must change something to ensure that, I will fulfill my duty. Octavia nodded firmly. Now, what next? Decorations. We need to get to some place called Carousel Boutique. Octavia smiled. Splendid. Octavia Philharmonica? Gasped the white-coated, purple-maned pony, upon hearing the introduction. Not the heir to the House of Philharmonica? Oh, no, Octavia said, a tinker back. I'm the third daughter. My two eldest sisters are in line to inherit the title. But even so, your lineage is remarkable. Besides, aren't you Princess Cadance's personal student? You must be an incredible pony. Oh, I am so honored to have you here in my shop. Octavia blushed, feeling a little uncomfortable. How do you know all that? I make it a point to keep track of high society. The pony's eyes gleamed. I might be just a small-town courtier for now, but I have big plans. One day, mark my words, every noble and Canterlot will wear facets designed by moi. I even plan to own my own boutique up there. I call it Canterlot Carousel. Oh, managed the cellist. Anyway, where are my manners? I am ready. You'll hear about the decorations for tomorrow, right? Yes. Right this way. You won't believe your eyes. Despite the mayor's grandiose claims, Octavia found herself satisfied with the decorations. Rarity seemed an expert in knowing just what Octavia would need to see, and the cellist was able to examine samples of all the important fabrics and decorations for the next day. She found no fault in any of Rarity's wares, as he was able to pronounce herself satisfied that Carousel Boutique would supply wonderful goods for the celebration. You'll make sure the Princess Cadance knows who supplied the goods, yes, Rarity said, as he passed another fabric swatch over for Octavia to examine. Of course, so you know all of the vendors. Rarity grinned brightly. Now, there's one more thing. I've taken the liberty of putting together some outfits for the local performers. You know, to make sure that they go with the decor and all. What do you think of this? Her horn glowed, a drop cloth flying into the air. It revealed only a bare mannequin underneath. Rarity blinked for a few moments. Then she frowned. Sweetie Belle! She called. Come in here at once! After a few minutes, a little foal tumbled into the room. She was wearing a dress 3 times her size and tripping over the legs. Yes, she asked, smiling brightly. Sweetie Belle, how many times have I told you not to touch my things? Complained Rarity. This is very important. And now look, you've gotten the outfit all muddy. Sweetie Belle looked down. Oops, but I wanted to look pretty like you. Octavia couldn't help but smile, though Rarity seemed annoyed. Miss Philharmonica, I am so sorry. Please, could you come back in an hour or so? I need to get this cleaned. Octavia frowned, thinking of her shell languishing in her quarters. Why don't I go visit Fluttershy then? Oh, no, that won't be necessary. Just give me a few minutes. I will make this dress immaculate once more, and I promise you it will be worthy of every minute of the wait. Octavia opened her mouth to refuse, but Pacer was too fast. Sure, she chirped. We're happy to wait. Is there anywhere fun to hang around here? Fun! Rarity paused. Bonbons is popular, I suppose. Ours is Sugar Cube Corner. But thank you for waiting. You won't regret this. She hustled her sister out of the room, scolding her as he went. Octavia frowned at Pacer. I did not. Oh, relax. Pacer smiled genially. Let's go to Bonbon's Bon thingies. It'll be fun. Octavia looked through the shop window at all the candies and chocolates that her diet wouldn't allow her to eat, and tried to ignore Pacer's musings about which treats she would buy first. Oh, but those lemon bars look really good. Or gumdrops. I love gumdrops. Maybe I could get gumdrops on the lemon bars. Or mixed in. Pacer squeaked. Want to play a Sunday? Octavia frowned. We have been here a while. Reggie is probably ready for us. We should make our choice, and we can't rush it. Besides, choosing is 90% of the fun. Pacer grinned. I wonder what those big snowdrops taste like. They taste like fresh cloud on top of a mountain. Both mares turned to see a mint green mare smiling at them. Octavia recognized her as helped leading the sun in the town square. I'm sorry, she asked. The snowdrops are delicious, said the pony, rising on her hind legs and flailing her forelegs about. They're chocolatey and crunchy and sweet. They taste like all the joy of the first snowball of winter compressed into one little candy. She grinned. But that's only the 12th best thing in bonbons. What's the best candy she has? Asked Painter. I have to go with the double chocolate crunch bars. The Green Mare smiled. They say eating one is like being personally blessed by the princess herself and taking it up to her star palace. The princess doesn't have a star palace, said Octavia. Really? Dang, only you knew metaphor. The pony laughed. My name's Lyra Heartstrings. How are you? Very well, thank you. Octavia bowed her head. Octavia Philharmonica, and this is my personal assistant, Paige Turner. Okay, guys, how is it that the sanest versions of Lyra we have encountered on this show so far are Universe and the main verse of Lyra? Everybody else is just a little bit silly, especially Defender's Lyra. Paige Turner nodded. So, those crunch bars are the best thing in the shop? No, the most delicious candy. They're the only second best thing in our shop, corrected Lyra. What's the best? asked Octavia, finding herself curious despite her diet. Lyra's eyes sparkled. Bonbon herself! The cellist stared. Is she not the most beautiful mare in all of Equestria? Said Lyra, putting a hoof over her heart. Is she not only the most lovely, her voice the sweetest, her mane the prettiest, her cutie mark the cutest? Could any pony possibly measure up to Sir Section? Nay, say I! Are you dating then? Asked Paige Turner, ignoring Octavia's frantic glances, designed to stop her assistant from encouraging the other pony. Any day now. I just have to come up with the right strategy. Lyra's eyes flashed. Shall I serenade her with Lyra music from afar? Perhaps I should play for her up close. You play an instrument? Octavia asked, desperate to change the topic. Huh? Oh, yes, I'm a lyrist. I busk most of the days in the park. Lyra's horn glowed, and a lyre popped into existence in front of her. Ballads mostly. Why, tomorrow I'll be playing all about how Princess Cadance overthrew her wicked sisters and took over the nation to rule with justice, friendship, and love. Paige Turner grinned. I ain't got ballads like that. Octavia frowned. Personally, I don't believe such stories. It's just an old mess chat to scare children. Behave, or Nightmare Moon will cover you up, she said. And Princess Cadance never mentioned any such battle or... Yeah. I know. Most ponies don't think there ever was a Celestia or Luna that went evil and turned into Burning Sun and Nightmare Moon. They never got sealed in the sun in a millennia ago, and we don't need to sacrifice chocolate cookies every year to make sure they don't come back. Chocolate cookies? To appease the angry star gods! And what better appeasement than a delicious cookie? Asked Lyra. Piggy and Dizzy prefer muffins, but me, I do cookies every year. And who cares about what the stodgy ponies think anyway? My ballad makes for a far better story. Lyra grinned and began to strum her lyre. Octavia didn't know how to respond to that. Well, it was nice to meet you. Wait! Don't go! Lyra grinned. You're new in town. You can help me. I need to guess her some intelligence on Bonnie. See what she thinks about me. Octavia paused. I really don't think that would be appropriate. Sir, what do you need us to do? Interjected Paige Turner. I'm going to go in and order her most expensive candy, said Lyra, eyes bright. You go in after me, and, all smooth like. Ask her what she thinks about me. Maybe she'll sigh dreamily, or smile and stare off in the far-off corner. Octavia was becoming tired, just from listening to Love-Struck Lyra. Love-Struck Lyra is best Lyra. Still, she could see that her assistant was already committed to helping the Green Mare. Very well, but after that, we need to get going. She glanced at Paige Turner. We still have work to do. Of course, said Lyra. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Wish me luck! The lyrist disappeared in the store, and Octavia overturned to Paige Turner, who began to giggle. Isn't love sweet? The store mare said. She's horn over hose for the candy mare. She's a bit silly, said Octavia. So, she's fun. A few minutes later, Lyra walked out with an elaborately sculpted chocolate bunny bouncing carefully on her back. Now, see what she thinks of me! Octavia and Paige Turner went into the candy store, the former taking one whiff of the air, and wondering idly if it was possible to get a contact sugar high. Paige Turner, though, showed no such trepidation, and went right up to the counter. Hi! Good morning, said the shopkeeper. Her name tag read that her name was Bonbon, and added that she was happy to serve them. I'll try a double chocolate crunch bar, said Paige Turner. I heard they're really good. Great. Bonbon began to wrap one up. Yeah, these are a good seller. Who told you about them? This pony we saw named Lyra. I think she was just here, actually. Do you know her? Octavia hid her smile beneath a hoof. Lyra? She's a great customer. I think she's tried everything my shop has to offer. Bonbon chuckled. A real connoisseur of chocolate. I appreciate that. You two must be friends if she buys so many sweets from you, urged Page Turner. Bonbon shrugged. Nah, she just buys candy from me. It's not like we ever talked outside of that. And if you've seen her, you know how hyper she is. If she wanted to be friends with me, I'd know it. Page Turner was silently shaking with laughter. Even Octavia felt amused. Oh, of course, the assistant said. Well, thanks for the candy. Outside, the two ponies turned to talk to each other, when Lyra bounced in between them. What'd she say? What'd she say? Does she long for me? Does she dream of me? Does she think of me as her sun and moon? Octavia blinked. Oh, Pacer coughed. Ahem. Well, she did say that she remembered you've bought most of her merchandise. She remembered me. Lyra's face split into a grin, this stretched from ear to ear. Yay! I knew my patronage would pay off! She enveloped both Octavia and Pacer in a massive hug. She remembers me! She remembers me! Hooray! And with that, she bent down the math, singing merrily. Octavia stared after her. Pacer, did she just hug me? Pacer was giggling. Yep. I will give you 10 bits to never mention this again. Pacer let her. No deal. She sprinted off. Come on, I bet Rarity's ready by now. And Octavia had no choice but to follow. Chapter 4. Scratched Up. Octavia stretched as she walked down the path. Rarity had finally shown her the dresses, and they had met with the cellist's approval. Now, she only had one more choice before she could return to her quarters in music. That's to be Fluttershy's house up ahead, said Page Turner, gesturing to the distant cottage. Looks really cozy. The house was quaint, a wooden structure in front of the large forest. Octavia smiled to herself as she examined the surroundings. The cottage had a burlesque sort of beauty that mixed perfectly with the surrounding lawn and brook. It looked almost like one of her occasional daydreams, the one in which she bought a little house in a beautiful field, spent her time composing in the solitude amidst the beauty of nature. The animals were frolicking outside the house, chickens pecking away at seed, birds tweeting, a white bunny cuddling a carrot. Completed the scene. Yep, said Page Turner, pointing up at the sneering sign. That says it for sure. We're here. Octavia read the sign. Fluttershy. She paused. When she spoke again, her voice was cautious. Town veterinarian. What? Asked Page Turner. Is something wrong? I was told that Fluttershy is a musician, but the sign says otherwise. Perhaps there are two? Octavia, it's a small town. Most people take up 2 jobs. I should know. Before Page Turner could respond, the door to the cottage opened, and a yellow-coated, pink-maned Pegasus trotted out of the house, with a pot of tea and a few plates of crumpets balanced carefully on her back, wings, and head. Who wants a picnic? She chirped, smiling as a bunch of animals raced at her, showering her in loving hugs. Now, everyone get into a nice neat line, and you'll all get a tasty little snack. She grinned. Doesn't it just sound yummy? Octavia wasn't sure what to do next, but Pacer walked up to the pony. Hi, Miss Fluttershy? She asked. Fluttershy turned and smiled brightly at Pacer and Octavia. Hello. Can I help you? No, said Octavia. My name is Octavia Philharmonica. I study music under Princess Cadance, and am helping to organize the Vernal Equinox situation. I apologize. I thought you were the musician for the event, but I can... Oh, I am, said Fluttershy, still smiling brightly. Everyone, say hello to Miss Philharmonica, please. The animals all waved or bowed at Octavia. The cellist too unnerved to respond. I am so excited to meet you, Octavia. I've never performed for the princess before, and... Her smile flickered for a moment. Well, I'm a little nervous. May I hear you play? Asked Octavia, wondering what was going on. Perhaps she thought this mare was a savant, able to perform with incredible skill, despite only being a hobbyist. Or maybe her veterinary practice was just a hobby, and she didn't advertise her musical talents for some reason. There had to be a sensible explanation for why she had been chosen for such an important role. Of course. Everyone,
I'm going to work with Miss Philharmonica for a bit, but I promise I'll come right back and we can have all more fun together.
Fluttershy chirped. And with that, she led the two visitors into the cottage. The house cluttered, Octavia noted, full of homes for animals. There were birdhouses, caves, and even holes in the wall for rats and mice. There were also signs. Lots of signs. Main Hunt Veterinary Clinic Drive? Asked Octavia, carefully setting a large placard aside so she could sit down.
Oh, yes,
said Fluttershy, pouring the tea for the two visitors.
There's a big drive right now to expand the Manhattan Veterinary Clinic. Poor animals. Did you know that over 3,000 pets in Manhattan might be sick or injured on any given day? But there are only enough hospital beds and wards for 2,000.
She took out a box and set it on the counter.
I'm leading the local efforts to raise money to expand one of their clinics. Any donation would be greatly appreciated.
Paige Turner nodded and withdrew a few bits from her salad bag, which she then tossed into the box. How's that?
Thank you. No amount is too small.
Fluttershy grinned.
What about you?
She asked Octavia.
All those animals would ever be so grateful.
Octavia wasn't sure to say. What exactly does the money go towards?
They want to build a new wing so they can care for more animals at once. They're also testing a new range of medicines that will help broken bones heal much faster. Dr. Warmheart wants to set aside a little park area so that animals who spend most of their lives indoors can gradually accumulate to the outside world instead of being thrown into it.
She buried her parts donation box gently towards Octavia.
We would truly be honored if you were willing to assist.
Octavia put a few bits into the box, if only so they could move on. The princess will be here to hear you, she said, in the calmest voice that she could manage. I mean no disrespect, but are you a hobbyist musician?
Well, music's not my job, but I think my birds and I are really good.
Fluttershy smiled sweetly.
Would you like to listen?
Octavia nodded, pushing her aside unease. She would give Fluttershy a fair and open hearing. After all, it was entirely possible she was good, even if her actual career had nothing to do with music. As long as that possibility existed, Octavia would hear her out.
Oh, little birdies,
chirped Fluttershy, fluttering up towards the top of the room.
We have a very special guest.
Octavia sat back as the birds flew down, standing on stands and beginning to chirp a few warm-up notes. The cellist shut her eyes and focused her ears, turning out Paige Turner, notes from the outside, and other animals running around. There were only the birds, and nothing else mattered.
Ready?
She heard faintly Fluttershy ask. Yes, said Octavia, and the birds began. It wasn't bad. The birds chirped and tweeted 3 songs. Each of them were suitable for a candlelight audience. They were classically inspired and eloquently performed. Octavia had heard very few wrong notes, and the vocal control of the birds was much better than she expected. She would not be embarrassed were the princess to hear that music. But still, it was too simple, thought Octavia. The first song was a formal march. The melodic and harmonic lines moved smoothly from bird to bird, each one tweeting a few notes before passing it on to the next. Beneath them, a few of the bigger birds consistently tweeted low notes in time with their companions, marking out the beats and helping the structure work. The march wound about, rising and falling at the right times, and fulfilling every classical requirement. But it didn't do anything else. It lacked the sort of ornamentation that Octavia knew the Vernal Equinox celebration, and for that matter, Princess Cadance deserved. The second song was a slow waltz, the kind that old ponies dance to while they reminisce about their youth. The third was a simple sonata, one of the first by the full prodigy Mozart. As was the first song, both were good, but neither were great. The music was not embarrassing, Octavia thought, but it also wasn't going to stun Cadance with its virtuosity.
What did you think?
asked Fluttershy. She had bowed her head and stepped back a few paces, as if afraid of a bad review.
Was it good? I'm sorry if I was slow. I was up all night helping Mr. Badger get better. He needs record doses of powdered nose paddle nearly every 20 minutes to help his congestion.
It sounded good, Octavia said, wondering how to say the rest of it. It's just, I liked it, said Paige Turner. Fluttershy caught Octavia's gaze.
Is it okay?
she asked. Octavia thought for another few moments. I think I understand the vocal range of your birds now. Would you mind if I tried modifying the music they'll be singing? I think a few slight changes could really sell your music to the Canterlot dignitaries.
Oh, would you do that? Thank you.
Fluttershy grinned.
I would be so grateful. I would hate to play music for the princesses he doesn't like.
Of course it would be no trouble. Octavia rose to take her leave. In fact, I will begin as soon as I return to my quarters. The meeting concluded. The 2 ponies from Canterlot turned to go. However, just as they were stepping out the door, Fluttershy called out,
Oh, if you think any of your Canterlot friends would be interested in the clinic, just let them know. The more donations we get, the better off all those cute little animals will be.
She was nice, said Pacer. She really likes those animals. Did you ever have a pet? No, but my sister Viola has a cat, said Octavia, stifling a chuckle. Although, I think it might be more accurate to say that the cat has a pet named Viola. My sister says Beck and call, groomings, fur flufflings, preparing the finest cat food in all today. Pacer laughed. It sounds like a pretty good life. There are a few creatures happier than a pampered pet, Octavia smiled. And speaking of happiness, all of my required visits are done. For the rest of the day, I can compose music for the festival. My own, unhelping Fluttershy, and perhaps Medley too. What if she could play the accordion harp using her wings? Pacer frowned. I'm not necessarily supposed to be doing that, Octavia. Why not? It's my responsibility to make this celebration a great success. No, I'm pretty sure we're just supposed to get the logistics handled. Make sure every pony knows where they're supposed to go. Help them arrive on time. That kind of thing. I don't think you're supposed to actually mess around with the music, Ed. Octavia waved this off. I am here to prove myself to the princess. What message would it send if I saw a problem but ignored it? If Medley or Fluttershy or any of the others need my help, I'll be happy to assist. Pacer frowned, but her next comment was forestalled by the arrival of a green-coated Pegasus foal. Ha! She yelled. Hey! Said Pacer, while Octavia recovered from the noise. I'm Pacer, and this is Octavia. What's your name? I'm Bebop! I'm supposed to find you too and get you to Second Kid Corner right away! Yelled the foal. She was a green-coated Pegasus, and, Octavia noted, a very loud one. Ready? No, said Octavia. The desire to compose and practice burned within her. Any more delay was almost painful. I am very busy. Great! Come and follow me! Said Bebop, began running through the streets. Octavia frowned. I did not. But Pacer was pushing her along. Come on, her sister urged her. What harm could there be in checking it out? But my music. It can wait a few minutes. Come on. Octavia sighed, but she did reluctantly follow. Sugar Cube Corner was dark. Octavia didn't see Bebop, who had run in ahead of her and Pacer. What now? She muttered. The Pacer called, Hello? Any pony home? Surprise! The lights flashed on. Octavia winced at the bright light. Once she recovered, she saw about half the town crammed into the seating area of the bakery. What is... It's a welcome to Ponyville party! Church one pony. The pink one from earlier, Octavia saw. We got lots of awesome food and drinks and games. Have fun! Octavia looked around, knowing that some of the ponies moved between her and the door. This really is not necessary, she said. I have a lot of music. Now, the games are over there, the cake is over there, and the drinks are here! Yelled Pinky. She still wasn't paying the slightest bit of attention. Oh! And I know what would be fun. Let's play Pin the Tail on the Pony! Octavia turned to Pacer. Help me. Pacer grinned. Sure, she said. I'll help you. Have some fun with the games! Missy and Pinky began leading Octavia to the drinks table. Octavia sighed as she let herself be dragged along. When Pacer got like this, there was no talking to her. I suppose I could spare a few minutes, drink one glass of punch and then leave. All right, she said. I'll have... Oh! Said Pinkie Pie. I almost forgot. We know you love music, so we brought the most awesomest musician in Ponyville here to play some super duper music for you. Octavia perked her ears up at that. Oh, she said. Well, thank you. Who is this musician? And what does he play? Pinkie Pie grinned. Every pony, give a big hoof to DJ Pony! She slid her hoof at the empty spot on the wall. It suddenly flashed and rippled to reveal a white-coated, blue-maned unicorn with gigantic sunglasses who was standing by a record table, drum kit, and a set of gigantic speakers. DJ Pony 3 is in the house! Screamed the unicorn to the tears of the crowd. And my latest composition, Whoop Step, all the way! Octavia played Whoop Step. She was not familiar with that genre. And then, Final began to play. It was the worst music Octavia ever heard. There was no pitch, no harmony, and barely any rhythm. Octavia only heard blasts of energy from the speakers, smashes from Final thumping on some noisy drums, and scratching from the turntable. It was terrible. Octavia felt that she had demonstrated almost supernatural forbearance in not running, screaming from the bakery seconds after the pony began. Instead, after giving the DJ a death glare that she didn't seem to notice, she carefully turned around, took her one drink of punch, and began to calmly walk towards the door. "Wing!" screamed Pinky, running between her and the exit.
"You can't leave yet. We just started."
Octavia glared at her. "I'm sure you could get along without me."
But what's wrong? Maybe you haven't had enough punch yet?"
Pinky suddenly grabbed Octavia's muzzle and opened it, poured a glass of punch in. Coughing, Octavia pushed her away and glared at her. "No! This is not music! This is just noise! Music is supposed to be elegant, beautiful, and—"
"What?"
Pinky yelled.
"I can't hear you!"
"I said music is
awesome! I agree! Yay!"
Pinky grinned and dragged Octavia back towards the center of the room.
"Every pony's dancing!"
She screamed. Octavia tried as hard as she could, without actually screaming and forsaking her dignity, to get out. But Pinky seemed to have some preternatural ability to locate her when she was trying to sneak away, so she would drag her back to the center of the bakery. It didn't help that Page's turn seemed to be on the pink pony's side, dragging her back to the games, or the cake, which Octavia couldn't eat due to her diet, or some other diversion. In the end, Octavia was still at the party when DJ's first set, a full hour of music that made Octavia want to stuff up her own ears with mud, finished. "DJ Bumstring is taking a break!" DJ yelled, "but she'll be back in 15 minutes, so don't go anywhere!" And with one last drum beat, the pony stopped playing, and Octavia could hear herself again. "There!" said Octavia. She was aware that she was sweating and looked a mess, but she was past the point of caring. "That was the conclusion of the set. Now, I really must be leaving."
"But you can't go now," said Pinkie Pie. "Vinny wants to meet you."
"Vinny?"
"Final Scratch. That's the DJ's real name,"
exclaimed Pinkie.
"I told her there was a super special awesome musician coming in from Canterlot, and she was all like, 'I got him here, and I promised I got you to the meet. I Pinkie promised!'"
Octavia had no idea what that was, but she figured that the DJ might at least leave her the bakery, unlike the pink party pony. "All right, I will talk to her."
Ying!
Within moments, Pinkie had left, and returned with the blue-made unicorn, and vanished off again to help Paige her eat a cake the size of Octavia's head. Octavia looked at the DJ. "Hello, I am Octavia Philharmonica." "Yo, Final Scratch at your service." Final grinned. "Basic beats, huh?" "Yes," said Octavia, choosing to use the more literal sense of that phrase. The music had certainly sounded sick, like it had ponypox.
"Quite an unusual set of pieces."
"Yeah, well, it's just spoke to me, you know." Final grinned. "When I was a foal, I looked at all those old styles with all those old rules. It was so stuffing and boring. Didn't make me want to get up and dance. So I made my own. I call it Rope Step." She winked. "So, what do you think?"
"Very different."
Octavia was reluctant to lie, even in situations like this. "I can honestly say I have never heard anything like it." "Hey, if you want to incorporate a few of those beats into your own stuff, feel free." Final smirked and playfully nudged Octavia's shoulder. "I don't mind. Just give credit where credit's due, you know. You tell everybody where you got your latest awesome themes from." Octavia had a bit of a fantasy of throwing Final under her own speakers, but she just said, "If I use your themes, I will credit you. Now, I'm sorry, but I must really return to my quarters. I have some music of my own to work on." She expected Final to protest, but to her surprise, the DJ nodded. "Totally understand. Hope I didn't keep you." She chuckled. "Guess I'll see you at the Equinox thingy?" "Yes. Vernal Equinox celebration. One of the two most important holidays in the nation, you know." "Well, looking forward to it. I gotta get some punch before Pinky drinks it all. And take it from me, she's a real party animal." Final flashed a smile. "See ya there." Octavia watched her go, and then marched to the door, eyes narrowed. Yes, yes, you did. And I will make it with all our wiles. You, me, and every boy in this music-forsaken town. You didn't like the music? Octavia tried to pace her entering the room. I'm sorry. You left right after the first set. I had to work on this. Octavia nodded at the sheet music in front of her. You know, I was worried that the town might not be ready for my music, but I was thinking about it in the wrong way. Pacer paused. You mean you'll adapt your music to the local styles? What? What's that? Of course not! Octavia shook her head. Why does this town not have good music? It isn't their fault, purrs Turner. They simply don't know what good music is. The best classical musician they know of in town is Bluenote, who got thrown out of the orchestras because he couldn't practice enough. No wonder they think some pony like Vernal is the best musician wonder since Beethoven. And they say Fluttershy, a hobbyist, is fit to perform for the princess, while they let Medley languish in a dying shop. She paused, a smile starting to slide over her face. But a month in this town was shown what great music really was. A month if they learned to properly appreciate it. Medley will receive the recognition she deserves instead of being surrounded by ponies who cannot appreciate her ability. Fluttershy would hear what her birds should sound like, so she could take them to that level. They could surely sound glorious if she just knew more music than full marches. Maybe even Bluenote would be inspired to try harder and make something more of herself. And all the others, all the ponies in this town who know nothing of the great musicians. Why, it would be a local renaissance! She grinned. What? I will play so beautifully tomorrow that they won't be able to help but hear what real music sounds like. They'll hear in an instant the difference between quality music and whoops. With Fluttershy's birds singing sophisticated music, Medley's harp, my own cello compositions. I was told that this town has been missing. Cadance will see me leading a whole town forward into a grand new era of lovely music. What better way could I demonstrate my skills to her than to teach others as well as she has taught me? Octavia turned back to her music. I'll work all night if I have to. Well, this music will change the village! Octavia? The cellist blinked. Octavia sounded unusually serious. Yes? I think you're making a mistake. This isn't what you're supposed to be doing. You'll get in trouble. From who? The town could get mad at you. The princess could become upset. Upset? I'm trying to help others understand music, her favorite art. I doubt that. Even if I fail, and the town learns nothing, Princess Cadance would be impressed that I made the attempt. Octavia shook her head. You worry too much. Let me handle the composition. I guarantee, tomorrow, after the equinox, the whole town will never be the same. Honey, you don't know the half of it! And with that, Octavia began writing her score again. She had only a few hours, and there was so much music she needed to create. Well, Trixie? Yes? I truly think Octavia just might be a more stuck-up, selfish, and protagonist with a lot of journey into the friendship to make than you! Wow! That is an accomplishment, Octavia! Congratulations!